Alrighty then, it's time for a jungle jarving game. Let's get this show on the road. Which one? So let's start off this video with a story. So, in the beginning, the first Christmas, God went to his angels and said, "Hey, I'll grant you anything you wish." So Michael asked for a fire sword. Then Metatron asked to be confused for a Transformers in the future. And then Lucifer asked for League of Legends to be created and for solo queue to be a thing. Yes, solo queue continues to be absolute suffering. And since it's season 8 and the start of it, it's even worse. You've all been seeing my videos as of late. They've been terrible. Anyways, first gank against Darius. I simply walk up with Flash W, and then we just kind of slowly stab him to death. And so far so good, right? I get the first blood, which is good, since I can be a quasi-pseudo-assassin. And bottom lane trades 2 kills. Well, one kills them, then the other kills the other, then the other one kills the other one. So far so good. And then Fiddlesticks decides to throw his life away because he honestly wouldn't have killed Ari at all for whatever attempt he did. And then Lee Sin beats him to death. I just walk into the second bush because I know Darius is going to be super aggressive, and I immediately jump on him. Well, W and then jump on him. And, he actually takes quite a bit to die, and it ends up burning a flash for Ornn, so it's not as clean as we had hoped. Still, though, don't let this start fool you. This video is 16 minutes long, so shit's going to go down. There ain't no spoiler alert. The time is a spoiler alert its own. So yeah, either way, I go down bottom lane because it seems they don't really have, the best sense here. They're playing super aggressive, so I can basically just walk in here. They take notice of me, but by this point it's too late. He gets a really good pulverize actually, but Blitzcrank and I just kind of CC lock him. So yeah, he dies. Draven is a sad man. We just I loop around and make sure to destroy these warriors, get myself a little bit of bonus gold, and of course control the vision. So far so good, right? But unfortunately for my bottom laners, they kind of overstay their welcome. Or sort of. Vayne overstays her welcome. She tried to get a little too aggressive against these two, and then she paid the price, although you couldn't really see in this replay. Then I plopped on a ward and, get the little plant, and it scares them off. Then Fiddlesticks gets a little bit too weirdly over aggressive, and the enemy team does the worst possible gank. It succeeds, but you saw how much it cost them, so whatever, right? They can't take Dragon right after because of that. Though then Lee Sin chases my support into the jungle, and I don't think that really did anything. Thankfully for me, I get to steal farm and call it, just holding the lane. You gotta love that as a jungler. This Fiddlesticks, again, you can't really see it in chat, was already a gigantic asshole to everybody, so you're just gonna steal from him. He's roaming around, stealing waves, and him and Ornn are already fighting it out in the chat. It's that kind of messy thing, that they're trying to bait each other into who surrenders. Lee Sin tries to pick a fight with me, but he kind of forgets that if I can do a combo on him, or, if he just sort of burns his combo, I get a chance to destroy him. Of course, Fiddlesticks was there too, so whatever. And then this is just like a garbage level gank because all Ari needed to do was dash once to dodge everybody's skill shots that were so telegraphed. Yeah, either way though, we just kind of get super aggressive once again and manage to kill her, although it cost me my flash and almost kills me, so I guess, sort of, a repeat of their shitty tower dive. So far, so good. 9 of 5 though, I mean, it's not the greatest advantage, but so far so good. But now are you guys ready? Just whip it out right now, because you're going to need to. So we know Lee Sin is around here, and Vayne is trying to bait it out, but Blitzcrank just gets impatient and goes in it anyways. Lee Sin shows up, I EQ in, although I only hit one person, but I trap them all, and in comes Fiddlesticks with a fiddle soup. That little bull right there is just murdering everybody. It's murderos. Plus, I got a double flag. I love that shit. For those of you who don't know what a double flag is, it's when you EQ into some place, and then you're able to use your Q again on that same flag spot and knock someone up during that moment too. So that one flag does double duty, and it feels so good. Again, Fiddlesticks gets super aggressive, and he does get his hourglass or stopwatch to save him, so hooray for League of Stopwatches. And then all sorts of horribleness goes around as everyone picks completely different targets and only end up getting one of them because we didn't focus anybody else or chase the right target. Whatever. Draven gets a little too close and takes a chunk of damage, but doesn't actually die. Still though, 14-5. Yes, it's grossly in my team's favor, but again, 16-minute video. Just wait for it to happen. At this point, again, people are just bitching at each other. Fiddlesticks is arguing with everybody because he keeps going super aggro and throwing his life away for kills because, you know, mid laners, right? So, let's say you're a jungler, and in order to get the perfect mid laner, you have $5 to buy all the traits you want. To get a mid laner who won't die 1v1 before the first 5 minutes, that's going to cost you 50 bucks. To get a mid laner who understands, you know, your invasion and to probably support you if something goes wrong, that'll cost you $200. To get a mid laner who won't blame you for losing their lane, that's going to cost you an additional $200. For them to say, lol, better jungler wins, that's for free. Alright? That's a fun joke I recently read on Reddit, or I mean Twitter. Either way. Yeah, 18-9 Stonewall. How can this game get worse? Well, again, it's already kind of starting to showcase, you know, how bad it could go, where a Fiddlestick sort of ults in with like no health and immediately dies, and then yells at everybody in all chat, because that's the best thing to do as a mid laner. Yeah, either way though, all things considering, my team comp is just far better, so it's one of those situations where no matter how bad things can go, we can still edge out a win. But at the same time, the team is just at each other's throats at this point, and everyone is just seemingly doing their own goddamn thing. I catch the Alistair, but, you know, it's a goddamn Alistair. Fiddlesticks decides, you know, let me just tank every fucking tower shot here and then just die. I killed Ahri to sort of revenge kill and then just kind of scamper away. Blitzcrank thinks it would have been a good idea to push or pull Lee Sin when we wouldn't have the power to kill him, and Darius would probably revenge murder the shit out of the rest of us. So, right now, we're just kind of scampering about. Yeah, hey, 10 more minutes to show you how things can truly sad. Like, you know, Fiddlesticks trying to split push by himself without any real wards or whatever, you know. Because, you know, getting a mid laner who won't continuously feed throughout the game, that's $500. Getting a mid laner who will probably lose you the game, that's priceless, man. You get that for free. Alright. Anyways, Vayne gets caught because her pathing was just pretty much terrible and eventually murdered. Blitzcrank honestly had tried to, you know, do a noble save, and me and, you know, him and me. No, I don't. I'm not gonna bother with proper English right now. Try to find a way to just dive in and murder somebody, and here I hesitate too much with my EQ and my ultimate, so I just kind of die for free. Fiddlesticks comes here in and manages to kill the Draven, and then eventually, you know, get himself killed, or at least really hurt, and then eventually get killed. Because, you know, Fiddlesticks' positioning is amazing throughout this entire game. But, of course, I really wish you guys could read the chat because it's just kind of, you know, insane. Lee Sin just kind of stands there and decides, you know, fuck it, and then finally tries to escape. But at this point, it's really goddamn pointless, and his flash was wasted, so he died. You know, even he could have seen that coming. Anyway, Vayne decided to chase the goddamn Alistair for some reason and ends up dying for it because, you know, hail Satan. Blitzcrank and I have the idea that maybe we can kill these two, and we approach this really terribly. You know, I go in EQ and I just, you know, barely manage to get him low enough for Blitzcrank to kill him. Fiddlesticks comes in, and he actually saves my life with his Dark Wind and his Fear and everything. So, yes, you know, funny enough, I'm the only one he hasn't shit talked, and not because, you know, and not because I'm doing good or anything, but because everybody else is just hating on each other. You know, sometimes, in order to stop all the hatred and anger, you just have to be the one not to do that. Just let the guy rage at himself and rage at the world. Ignore them because they're just full of hot air, and you raging back isn't actually going to, you know, change them as a person. He's not going to suddenly go, hey, I am an asshole. Let me mend my ways. Nah, they're just going to start shouting louder. So it's kind of just best to ignore them, and that's been my philosophy most of the time. There are times where I get a little bit, you know, edgy and... Either way, Fiddlesticks again dies. He got himself, you know, a kill, but it was not a worthwhile kill because the Lee Sin is also kind of middling about right now. Either way, I know Alistair's not next to Draven, so I try to make a gung-ho attack on him. Do as much damage as possible, but unfortunately he has a heal and Alistair manages to catch him, and my flash in an attempt to use the flag again to knock him up did not work, so I end up dying. Sad day. 28 and 21. You see, the score is starting to even out, right? And it's about almost 24 minutes. You can see the kill spread. Also, Vayne does kill the Draven, But then, yeah, you know, melee range. You know, so you guys think, you know, the prices for a good mid laner are expensive, but a Vayne, she has, like, you know, taxes on that. So if you to get a good Vayne play, you need to, you know, take out a loan, you know, a really predatory high interest rate loan to get a good one. All right, we're going with this joke. All right, we're gonna ride this joke to the end. Either way, fight breaks out between my two teammates who absolutely deal no damage, and they thought they could possibly take down the Darius, you know, for some reason. Eventually, the rest of us get there and, you know, CC Darius down before he kills the Vayne, who likes to get in melee range, because, you know, melee. So we barely managed to get her, kill him before she died. And then the Ahri decided to just kind of jerk around here, pushing way too far. We nuke her ass down, although it was a really bad nuking down, so you can tell. By the way, fun fact, our scores are a little inverse right now, 32 to 23. We don't have as gross of a goal lead as you might think, because they're farming way better. You know, we go for the dragon, and you know, I make my little escape, sacrificing Ornn, and then Lee Sin gets the, you know, super cosmic mega kick on me, and there's no chance in saving me, so I end up getting murdered. And then Fiddlesticks comes in and pretty much dies because he couldn't do anything, and the Vayne pretty much dies too. So yay, all of us die for the dragon. Blitzcrank kind of shouldn't have even been trying this. I know what he wants to do, try to steal the Baron, but there's no chance in hell. He ends up pulling possibly the worst target, Darius, because he just immediately explodes. So sad day for him. So yeah, 32 and 28. 28 minutes in too, so that's a lot of kills and a lot of badness. And we go in on the Ahri thinking we could possibly nuke her down before an hourglass or some blinking shit or something. Nah, I die, and it just becomes really sad afterwards. By the way, the Fiddlesticks at this point was yelling at us, "Why are you guys trying to fight? You shouldn't be feeding." And it's kind of funny because, you know, all things considering, Fiddlesticks has been opening up, you know, a timber mill for the enemy team. So yeah, here they're just trying to siege us in like a really bad manner. I mean, they don't really have siege potential because their pushing is all on Ahri. So at anything, they're just kind of flibber-flapping around. Again, really bad pull, but no punish right there. Just a little bit back and forth poking, trying to find that one little skinny character like, you know, Draven to absolutely murder. So now that he's dead, we try to make a little bit of push. And, you know, Ahri's just in a really bad spot. Sure, she gets nuked down, especially because of Darkwind caught her. Ornn is down bottom trying to, you know, stop these two, but he hasn't gotten a good ultimate in the entire game. Fiddlesticks comes in and just absolutely destroys the enemy team. Aside from me also catching him in the little fear soup. Darius is just, you know, kind of punishing us all for being super stupid and being in melee range for a long time. And we're trying to kite him enough just for the Fiddlesticks to be able to get in and just, you know, suck his blood. So, hey, we turned that shit around. They had Baron, and they just threw it away. And meanwhile, Vayne just kind of scampering about. Alright, so you can also tell how my build is in this game. It's pretty much ass blaster Jarvan. No real tankiness except the Dead Man's Plate near the end, with the idea is just to try to burst down Draven, since he's the only actual threat, or at least the only actual threat I can take care of, so yeah. Also Guardian Angels, just so I don't immediately die. We go in for, my teammates go in, and, you know, they kind of get, you know, trapped all in here, and this too bad there's nobody, you know, Fiddlesticks in here to make another fear soup here. But me and Ornn, or Ornn and I, managed to control them for quite a bit, so then the Fiddlesticks could finally get there and then get kicked away. And it just, we slowly murder the survivors, and then, you know, good day for us, right? We slowly killed Darius, and he just takes so damn long to kill, to the point where I end up paying the price for that, because I went for the other targets thinking, I can leave Darius to my teammates, they'll bring him down. And then, you know, Lee Sin thinks it's a good idea to try to attack the tankiest character in my team, and it allows himself to become this little bouncing target for the Dark Wind, and gets her Ahri really messed up, and himself killed. So eventually, Ahri gets fisted by Blitzcrank, and then slowly but surely, you know, the Alistair gets, you know, put to pasture. So he dies too. That was a really, really stupidly long and awful team fight. This game is a disappointment in, you know, major scale. And if anybody's asking, Stonewall, why haven't you made more, you know, organized or, you know, more, you know, proper educational team battles? Well, literally every single game has been like this. For those who have seen my stream, they can attest to just how messy it is. Either way, I engage in Alistair, and you say, why engage on Alistair? Well, none of his homies are around, so this is pretty much kind of free damage. And then Draven decides, you know, let me go real close up to the tankiest character on the enemy team, and then we just absolutely murder him. So now that their only actual threat is gone, the rest of them will just kind of fall over very quickly. Lee Sin gets absolutely murdered. We go for Baron, or, you know, we scamper about looking for another trade. And then we go for Baron. Alistair comes in and gets absolutely destroyed, gang blasted. You know, the smite there was, you know, heart attack situation, but what we got it. And then the enemy team just kind of, you know, trying their very best to siege it. And as much of a dick that he's been the entire game, the Fiddlesticks, at least this play right here redeems him a little bit. He goes in and manages to catch the most important characters on the enemy team and destroy the Draven, and basically caused RA to, you know, die as well. So yeah, that kind of won us the game, because we thought we'd, you know, have this a little bit more prolonged, but that was a pretty daring ultimate, though to be honest it was just kind of really good timing. So with that, this game, which was causing me a heart attack because everyone was a sandy vagina, is over. Thank God. But, you know, you can expect more terror like this, because Lucifer's wish will be granted for all eternity. And remember, if you enjoyed the video, make a comment below in the comment section, and also give the video a like. That helps the channel a lot more than you think.